Zinc Media. Feel the power of knowledge.
We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator of human race. And among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. Yes, it is I, your lovable host, Rod, coming to you live from my bunkerized home studio somewhere within the great granite state of New Hampshire. Yes, where the state motto is still live free or die. It is not big government or bust. And I know there's a lot of liberal socialists out there that just don't understand that. Big government's where it's at, Rod. Big government. No. We don't want government telling us how and where and when to live our lives. It is Friday, folks. Friday, November the 30th, in the year of our Lord 2012. Not only is it the end of the work week, but it is the end of the month of November. Tomorrow we head into December. Full head on into the Christmas season. Yes, I said Christmas, not holiday. The holiday season, frankly, in my book, is from October through January. Now, how is that, you might ask? Well, Halloween, and then is followed closely there by Veterans Day, which is closely followed there by Thanksgiving, which is followed closely there by Hanukkah, which, depending on the year and the calendar, is either followed closely by or includes Christmas, which is then followed closely by the New Year celebration. And now it's kind of extended, which is followed closely by the Martin Luther King / Civil Rights Day in mid-January. So, yeah, that's the holiday season. This is the Christmas season now. Well, what about Hanukkah? You just mentioned Hanukkah. Well, nobody buys anything for Hanukkah. It's not. I know they've tried. You know, sometimes you see the Hanukkah. Now, don't get me wrong, because I celebrate Hanukkah. I understand what Hanukkah is about, and I'm fully behind what Hanukkah stands for, what it's celebrating. I'm a Christian of a Judeo-Christian ethic and code. I fully understand what Hanukkah is about, but you don't see Hanukkah presents in the stores. There aren't Hanukkah sales. You don't see Hanukkah decorations. Really, you don't. I mean, there's a few outside of a menorah, but other than, the people try to use dreidels as decorations. I mean, really? But, other than that, it's Christmas time. And don't even get me started on Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa doesn't even exist. That's just a made-up stupid holiday. There's no reason for it. It's just, yeah, there is, Rod. Rod, you just don't know. Yeah, I do know. I know who started it, who invented it, and why some people think that it's important. But let me tell you something. The former Black Panther leader is not going to dictate how I celebrate a particular time of year. And not to mention, most Africans who come from the continent of Africa to this country who are black Africans, they look at us like we got two heads, on our shoulders when we mention the name and holiday Kwanzaa and try to explain it to them. They look at it, well, that's dumb. I said it yesterday. I actually got, an African, black African. Those were his exact words. Well, that's kind of dumb. Yeah, it is. So, but hey. So it's the Christmas season. And if you don't like it, too bad. Don't listen. I don't go by anybody else's calendar. This is my calendar. So it's the Christmas season. So we're heading into the Christmas season, and I refuse to jump ahead of Thanksgiving for Christmas. I know a lot of people try to and do, but I don't. I don't get Christmas trees until after Thanksgiving. It's usually the weekend of Thanksgiving or the first weekend in December. And this year we got it. I got it last weekend. Because I was driving by. And the place I got it from, they had just brought in the trees. They're all nice and fresh. Not sitting there forever. So they just unloaded them off the truck. Just came from Nova Scotia, don't you know? And I picked a nice fresh tree. Very few of the needles were, falling on my floor as I was bringing the tree in. So that's a good thing. I know it's probably going to be the opposite on the way out, as it is every year. It's just that things are just going to lose needles all over the place. But last thing, I think it's kind of nice not having to worry about trying to get rid of the needles on the way in because it doesn't shed very many. Unless I get a fake tree, which will not happen within my lifetime as long as I can help it, you're always going to have needles on the way out. No matter how I could keep the thing water. I've tried everything. I've tried the aspirin, I've tried the bourbon, I've tried the whiskey, I've tried the aspirin and whiskey, I've tried the adding sugar, tried adding honey, I've even tried adding maple syrup. Well, because, it's pine. But nothing helps. You keep it watered throughout the season, but it's still going to basically dry out and drop a bunch of needles because you cut the tree, it's almost dead. Really, you're just prolonging its. I know that's kind of a morbid thing to think about. Oh, you got a dead tree in your house, but basically that's what a live Christmas tree is kind of an oxymoron because it isn't live. You cut it, you have to cut it down, so it's technically it's dead. Or dying, so it's not really live unless it's in a pot with roots and growing. And I haven't gotten to the point of trying to do that yet. I've seen them, but then you're supposed to you're supposed to have a hole dug and plant them outside and everything. And I've never, as an adult, I've never lived in a climate where you could do that really. Well, you're supposed to go out there and dig the hole ahead of time. What? I'm supposed to dig the hole in September in preparation for the Christmas? Where am I supposed to keep the dirt? But here's what this is no joke, folks. I'm being serious here. If you want a live tree, and now keep this in mind for next year. If you want a fully live tree and a root ball and everything, this is what they suggest you do. You do go out and buy the tree at place, your nursery or Home Depot or Lowe's or what have you, around the holiday season. But in September or October, before the ground freezes and you get a permafrost, you have to dig the hole for the tree. Yes, you have to dig the hole. You have to take the dirt out and keep it in a warm enough spot where it does not freeze, like your garage or basement or attic or what have you. They actually take the dirt out and put it in a place that will not freeze, so that when you go out there in January after the Christmas holiday and you want to plant the tree, you have warm dirt to put on it. I kid you not, that is a suggestion. Now, I don't know how that actually works because it seems to me like it would be such a shock, coming from a warm house into the frigid cold in many climates in January. Not to mention you probably have to dig out the snow out of the hole, so the hole is going to be frozen. And here you are, dumping this this poor tree, and it's probably going to get shock from the temperature change. But they say that's supposed to work that way. I don't know if it will or if it does, but you just have to see on the if you want to try it, go right ahead. I, on the other hand, I'm not gonna try it too soon, but you go ahead if you want. Other than that, I hope I have to plead with people here tonight to be sane. Be sane. What do I mean by that? Look, if you haven't seen the YouTube videos, the viral videos of people going now I'm going to use a term that probably hasn't been used since like the 70s or 80s or 90s. And I know it's going to sound kind of vulgar, but this is people, remember the term ape shit? Going ape shit? Well, this is what people are doing. Or it's what they did on Black Friday and Saturday, for crying. Especially the places, that have these, mega deals like Walmart and Target and Kmart. It was ridiculous. Now, I didn't hear of anybody dying this year. Remember when a couple of Walmart employees died during a Black Friday event because and the whole gist was Walmart was at fault because they didn't train their employees on how to handle a Black Friday crowd. There is no handling these people. I mean, it was even at Victoria's. Did you see the YouTube video about from Victoria's Secret in the mall? It was crazy, insane. I'd never seen anything like that in the mall, let alone Victoria's Secret. And you're probably thinking, well, what are you talking about, Rod? I'm talking about what happened at a Victoria's Secret during I guess Victoria's Secret had I guess Victoria's Secret also had a Black Friday event. I don't know. I don't go near a mall at this time of year. Don't go in. I forget going in. I don't go near it. In fact, there's here in New Hampshire there is a place called Pheasant Lane Mall, which is right on the border with Massachusetts, Tingsboro, Mass, in Nashua, New Hampshire, and it's on DW Highway South. I don't go down there during this time of year. Even when I lived in Nashua, I learned to avoid DW Highway South near the mall in December. I don't go near it. No way, no how. Because people are crazy, yo. But this was happening in the mall, Victoria's Secret. These three female employees, brave ones. Because evidently Victoria's Secret has a manual security gate. That has to be lifted up. Now, a lot of stores, they have it, it's key operated, it's electric. Evidently, looking at the video, this Victoria's Secret had a manually operated one. And there were three female employees that came to unlock this gate and lift it up. And as soon as they lifted it up, it was like a wave of water. Those three, I don't know what happened to them. Because they literally disappeared in a sea of people. A flood of it was the most amazing thing I've ever seen. It's it's kind of like a magic trick. 1 second it's there and the next second it's not. Well, this is what these three employees were like. 1 second they were there with their arms in the air after lifting up the gate, and instantly they were no longer to be seen. So I don't know if they were taught how to raise this gate and then turn and run with the crowd, because that must be what happened. Because I didn't hear of anything else about the employees or anybody dying. But this year I haven't heard.